Welcome to the Black Lion Podcast. I'm your host, Lex, and I got a co-host, Dom. We have a special guest with us today. Guest, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Chevonne Barrett.
Great. So we want to ask you a few questions, do a quick interview with you. Can you please tell us a brief history of your business?
Okay, well, I have a home-based business and I am partnered with the financial literacy program where they help people restore their credit and also open an additional stream of income as well. They've been in the business since 2004. The same people that started the company are still with the company, so it's a lot of consistency and longevity. We've been featured on the Steve Harvey show at least 3 different times. It's definitely well established. So I was able to come upon the opportunity to partner with this company and also help people at the same time.
That's great. Would you be able to tell us how much does your service cost?
So for the starter's fee, it's 188. So it's because it's 89 a month. So it's an additional 99 for the activation fee. We charge, the minimum basically of what the services require instead of how other companies normally charge like 1,200 just for the credit alone. Because our company actually offers 12 different programs, all of that is included with the 188 and then 89 a month, depending on how long you're with us.
Okay. So you said they've been in business since 2004.
Correct.
How long have you been with the company?
I've been with them, let me see, what month are we in now? I've been with them a few months now. So I've definitely been able to acquire the flow, get the gears running. So I've been able to meet a lot of people. I'm already seeing like changes within my own lifestyle, from the benefits of this company. So it's definitely something I'm happy I got into.
That's great. So does it help with student loans?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Yes,
great.
that's actually something I had an issue with as a partner with the company. I also receive the services as well, so I'm a product of the product, and that is definitely something that is tearing my credit apart. And I didn't even come out with a degree, so I'm like, I have all this debt, all these loans out there, and they're waiting to be paid. But that is definitely one of the things that we handle, as well as bankruptcies, medical bills, repos, I said bankruptcy, medical bills, repos, and divorce. There's just a lot of anything basically that's on your report that's considered derogatory, they can dispute, because you have a team of lawyers that's working on your case individually. So what they do is they'll pull the full report, they'll see what is on your report, and then them themselves will write up your dispute letters for you. You will send that out to all 3 bureaus. We're an accelerated program, so everything will be disputed all at once with all 3 credit bureaus at the same time. They have, by law, 30 to 45 days to respond to those dispute letters. So in the meantime of going back and forth with those letters, we have the other 12 programs within the company that will help you as far as like budgeting, savings, will and trust, identity monitoring. And it's not just like, oh, we're going to watch your credit card transactions. They watch your email, they watch the dark web, they watch your social media, so we definitely, we definitely take priority with your identity, because we're getting you to a point where you're actually going to be more of a risk for identity theft as your score increases.
Right. I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Yeah, and then we also give you $1 million if it does happen towards your case as well.
Wow,
We
that's
also,
great.
yeah, there's also attorneys on, with 24 access for the creditors that are harassing you. There's a law that a lot of people aren't aware of that they have to abide by. There's a certain time where they're supposed to call you. Sometimes that they will, threaten you and, threaten to take you to court. There's just certain things that they're not supposed to be doing. and that legal team will actually sue on your behalf.
That's great. So
Tell Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, is it remote?
Yes, you
Yes.
actually get, as a client, you get your own online portal. So you'll be able to track everything that's happening. It's not like you give your information and then you just cross your fingers and wait to see what happens. You're tracking the whole system. So after you send out your dispute letters, you're waiting for the response. Once you get that response, you'll send it back to the company, and then they will either process another round of dispute letters for you, or they will update your account. So you'll see everything that's being disputed. You'll see everything from, there's a lot of grading systems as far as your credit report is concerned. So you'll be able to see all of those scores. You'll be able to see your hiring score, because some people need good credit to get a job. You'll be able to see your auto score. You'll be able to see all these different scoring systems as your score increases. So you'll be able to track everything along with using the other programs that's included as well. So you have 24-hour access to that. Not only is it a website, but it's also an app that you can put on your phone.
Oh, that's great. Don, what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask her to tell us about your background. So,
Well, my story basically is, I actually was in the medical field since I was 16. I became a CNA at that age, and years down the road, I became an EMT. I went to nursing school. Um, I actually had an incident happen to me in the process of almost finishing my RN, which forced me to withdraw. So I moved. I had my first son right after that, and I moved to upstate Albany, where I'm at now. I was in the city prior to that, all in New York. And when I came up here, I actually also supervise a call center for Medicaid prior approvals with the Department of Health. So ever since COVID happened, that was a time where I was doing, they sent us all home. So we were doing remote access, which we still are. Now we're in a situation where all my children are also doing virtual learning, and I needed to make sure I could work from home. I dreaded that day that my office called and was like, okay, it's time to go back. And I have my little one still here. So I was actually searching for somewhere I can work from home. And I happened to find this ad, and it came across my Facebook a few times, and I ignored it. And then something just told me, just check it out. So I did. And, just the information that was given to me, sitting through the webinar, listening to all these successful people, and it was a lot of diversity, so I really like that as well. And just seeing all their success, seeing what they offered, and being someone that's always been in the field of helping people, I saw that even though it wasn't my first passion, it's still along the lines of me helping people. And lo and behold, it's also my own business, so now I get to set my own hours. I don't have to take those 2-minute breaks that they claim to be 15. I don't care, it's 2 minutes. But it definitely offered me financial freedom as well as time freedom. And that's really what I want at the end of the day, to spend that with my children, to make sure that they're not behind on their education. There's three of them. So it's a lot of work that I need to do at home, but it definitely, I'm able to work around it. It's flexible. You can start, if you want to join the business, you can start off on the side. You don't have to quit your job, because I still do, my primary job as well. But my goal later on will be to fully leave my job and do this full time. And because I see what I'm capable of with this company, that's definitely doable.
That's great. How can people join?
They would have to speak with one of us. So if they contacted me, I can definitely show them um, the process of the job. They will be introduced by other people in the company that are in higher ranks as well, and they will have mentors. It's full training. Everything is provided. It's actually like a turnkey business where they give you the tools, they give you your own website, They give you the full training. You have full support. You work for yourself, but you're not by yourself. And that's another thing that drew me as well. And then you get the services. So it's a win-win either way. For me taking that risk, I said, well, what am I really losing? Even if it doesn't work on the business side, I come out with good credit. So, either way, it
Yeah.
worked out. But because of, their system and the way that it works, and the fact that, they really help people that are especially low income, and, single moms, all of these type of people who aren't taught financial literacy. We weren't taught that in school. That's not something that was on our schedule. So there's a lot of younger children, students, older generations that were never taught, that are now in financial turmoil because they've done things with their credit that they didn't know they weren't supposed to, or had, situations happen to them. We're able to sit down with them, educate them, as well as fixing what's already been done. Because not only do we have the programs invested into the portal, but it's also full of a lot of educational documentation. So they're going to be learning how to maintain their credit, how to boost their scores, little hacks, if you want to call it, just to show them, like, these are the rules to having good credit and maintaining that, because we don't want them to have to come back.
Right.
We're already an accelerated program. We're looking at maybe 3 to 7 months with us, depending on how complex your case is. And we want to make sure that you have that foundation, so when you are done with the program, you can handle it yourself. You don't have to come back and spend more money. So that's something else. We also have a YFL program for the children. um, if you're a client and you have the portal, there's a section for the YFL where from ages like 4 to 16, they have different stages of education, whether it's games, learning lessons. So, if you have children, they can start learning about financial literacy while you're in the program.
That's good.
We Yeah, we also give back. The YFL program also goes across the country and teaches kids. Before COVID, they were going around the country and going into classrooms and teaching children about financial literacy. They provided them workbooks, they get certifications at the end. Sometimes they'll get little prizes. And it was very, uplifting for the children. We also, every membership gives back $2 to their scholarship. And last year we gave 400,000 in scholarship money. This year we actually was able to do 600,000.
Great.
So we definitely give back. It's a nonprofit organization. So like I said, they're definitely trying to help people and get them in a better standpoint.
That's great. So, how do you balance? You said you have another job as well, right?
Hmm.
So, how do you balance having 3 kids and 2 jobs?
It's like you said, it is balance. So what I have is a DMO, a daily method of operation. And what that includes is my own schedule. Like I said, I get to make my own hours, but it's
Mhm.
more than just saying that, it's actually implementing that and making sure that everything, has a place for the day, and keeping your priorities where it's supposed to be, not being distracted, not losing focus. Um, and just planning accordingly. So basically I wake up earlier than, it's time for me to go to work, because I'm working from home, so I could just roll out of bed and get on the computer. But I make it a point to wake up earlier, to give myself that personal time, get my head together and do some cleaning or anything if necessary. And then I begin my day. I wake up the little ones. They have to get ready for school. I wake them up earlier so they can have breakfast. They can, get dressed. We all actually start at the same time. So once 8:30 hits, I'm like, all right, get on your computers. So we all log in. During my breaks, I'll take calls. So my phone calls are always scheduled for that reason. If a
Mhm.
client needs to speak with me, or if they want to enroll or anything, I'll schedule that either around my breaks, my lunchtime, or after work. In the meantime, because I have my phone, I can work from my phone, so I can work anywhere.
Mhm.
So, I have my computer, which I use for work, and I also have my phone if I'm doing anything else on the side. So I do that in between calls, as well as managing the call center, which they're pretty independent. My staff is really good. They've been there for a while, so they only need me if it's like a complicated call or, if they're backed up, I'll jump on and help them out. So in that downtime, I use that to market my business and, talk with clients and handle anything that I can while I'm just on the phone. Um, After work is fully focused on my business. In between as well, I work with my 6 year old with his school. So once he's done, he has 2 sessions. Once he's done with his second session, we'll go over the work that he's done, and then we'll do his actual homework. So I try to finish by 5 o'clock. If not, it'll be like another hour or so that we're working to finish up his homework. Then I go to the 4 year old and we practice his letters, his writing, his scissor skills, all that good stuff. And again, it's just about balance and getting your priorities together. And then after that, back to my business, staying focused. Their father helps out a lot, so he'll make dinner. So while I'm doing that, he's back home from work cooking, and we work as a team, so that helps as well. And I pretty much work my business till I go to sleep.
Mhm. What do you see your business at in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I will no longer be working 2 jobs because 2 jobs is for 2 people. And I will be able to travel. I will be able to, show my children that there is something more than, what they see just on the surface level. Now, depending on what COVID leads us to, I would hope that we would have the freedom to, go on little family trips, visit different places and just expose them to what life is really about. Because I think that we are really, we're chained to this bubble that we can only go but so far. But working in this company, it showed me that you can actually be limitless. No matter the work you put in, if you're at a job, you can only make but so much money. But when you have the option to be limitless, and the more that you work and the better that you are at it, it's going to reflect on what you get back in return. I mean, it's fair game for anything really. But I definitely want to give back to my children and show them like what they're capable of.
That's great. Um, Dom, you got any more questions?
What do you hope to achieve before the end of this year is out?
Before the end of this year, well, we actually have a very big virtual training next month. So it's with a lot of successful people. It's ran by Eric Worre, which he's one of my idols, and he's such an intelligent man. So he's conducting this virtual training for like 3 days,
Okay.
and usually this is an annual thing that we would have to fly to Vegas and attend, but because of the situation, he's turned it into virtual. So it's going to be something very historic. It's never been done before. There's going to be tens of, probably hundreds of thousands of people tuning into this. It's going to be massive. So I'm really excited for that. Our My business actually is going to have us go to Florida for a retreat, and we're all going to watch it together and brainstorm and just work with one another, give each other ideas and just work together as a team. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And with that being said, after that, I expect that I'm able to help more people. I'm able to expand my business and really be able to finish out with a bang.
What advice do you have for someone trying to start their business?
The one thing that's been instilled and drilled into my head, I must say, is don't quit. Don't quit. And don't let other people's influences deter you from what you want to do, because fear is what paralyzes you and stops you from reaching your full potential. And there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to recognize your potential. There's going to be people that can't see, they can't even see the potential in themselves. So you can't take their opinion and run with it, because you know who you are, you know what you want. And if you're hungry enough, you can achieve it. It has nothing to do about how anybody feels about it. Success is with failure. So we always say fail forward. And you're not going to succeed if you don't fail. So without letting people's opinions get in the way, without letting your own fear get in the way, without quitting, you're going to fail, but you're not going to be able to succeed unless you do. So, I definitely would give strong encouragement to anybody that's trying to do this to just go ahead and do it. As long as you know that you're not doing anything that's hurting anybody, that you're not lying to anybody, there shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't go for it if you're able to.
I agree with you.
Well, I don't have any more questions for you. I really enjoyed our interview. I think you gave us a lot of jewels and the audience a lot of jewels.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. This was definitely an honor. So I thank you for inviting me. This was awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, we thank you.
No problem. You have a good night.
You
Thank you.
too.
Thanks.